Christmas weekend is here and so are we with Money9's weekend special of Companynama. A feast of updates from the corporate and startup world is ready for you. I am Shrestha Tiwari, taking off with the corporate updates first. The Torrent Group has emerged as the highest bidder for Reliance Capital with an offer of 8,640 crore rupees at the e-auction of Anil Ambani's former core investment company. The Hinduja Group came in second with an offer of 8,150 crore rupees. Cosmia Piramal and Oaktree, which were also in the race, finally did not participate in the bidding. Reliance Capital lenders are expected to hold a meeting soon to take a final call on the winning bidder. Earlier on December 28th, the Cosmia Financial Holdings Piramal Group combined had pulled out of the bidding process, citing unreasonable new base price of 6,500 crore rupees to participate in the auction. Reliance Retail Ventures, a subsidiary of the Mukesh Ambani-led Reliance Industries, will fully acquire the food wholesaler Metro Cash and Carry for a total of 2,850 crore rupees. The transaction, however, is subject to regulatory and other closing conditions and is likely to materialize by March 2023. With this, Reliance Retail will get access to Metro India's network of stores in almost 18 prime locations across cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Kolkata and more. Post this announcement, Reliance Industries' share price gained 0.5% to 2,604 rupees on December 22nd. In more news, Reliance Retail Ventures on 21st December sold 2% stake in Just Dial for 101 crore rupees in order to comply with the minimum public shareholding norms. The shares were sold at an average price of 600 rupees a piece, taking the transaction value to 101.16 crore rupees. Burman family, that owns a majority stake in FMCG giant Dabur India Limited, sold approximately 1% of their shares on 20th December, raising over 1,000 crore rupees. It is estimated that each of the members, Amit and Saket Burman, sold 0.5% of their stake each in the company. The entities of Burman family, which have offloaded shares, were Gyan Enterprises and Chaudhary Associates, Dabur stated in an exchange filing. Shares of Dabur India slipped over 3% in early trade after promoters of the FMCG firm sold their stake in block deals. Wipro Consumer Care and Lighting foray into the food business category and has signed an agreement to acquire Nirapara, one of the largest selling traditional food brands in Kerala, for an undisclosed sum. The acquisition will also give Wipro Consumer Care and Lighting an entry into the 70,000 crore rupees spices market, which recently witnessed the entry of companies like Dabur India. ITC also ventured into the segment by acquiring spices brand Sunrise Market. In a regulatory filing, Bharti Airtel disclosed that it has acquired around 8% stake in Lemnisk under Airtel's Startup Accelerator program. This was an all-cash deal with no disclosing of financial details. Lemnisk offers real-time marketing automation and secure customer data platform operating from Singapore, Dubai, Boston and Bengaluru. Airtel and Lemnisk will work together to build world's largest CDP platform. Over to the segment that targets major controversies and disputes revolving around corporates. Let's find out which were those giants that were under the scanner, or how we put it, on the radar this week. At least 2 properties in Dubai and 1 in Mumbai's upscale Bandra Kurla complex, in addition to bank guarantees valued together totaling over 445 crore rupees, were the securities offered by the Jalan Kalrock Consortium to the lenders of the erstwhile Jet Airways. These were against committed payments in tranches by JKC, starting with 185 crore rupees, followed by the second tranche of 194 crore rupees. These carried a release date in the 5th year from the start of operations of Jet 2.0 or complete payment. Further, the Mumbai bench of NCLT has reserved the order in the matter of Jet Airways. The Jalan Kalrock Consortium has sought directions from the bench to hand over the company, whereas the lenders had opposed it, stating that the conditions precedent have not been met. SpiceJet has proposed to settle the dues of aircraft leasing companies by turning them into potential investors from creditors. The plan involves a two-step transaction to clear outstanding dues worth 2,500 crore rupees if the lessors agree. As per reports, the company will first transfer its cargo undertaking to a newly created subsidiary. The unit Spice Express will then issue compulsorily convertible debentures to the parent, and then SpiceJet will offer lessors the option to swap lease payments with CCDs. Tata Group has approached the Bombay High Court seeking to contest a 1,500 crore rupees GST notice from the Directorate General of GST Intelligence. The claim relates to a 2017 dispute settlement with NTT Docomo. After approaching the government to mediate, Tata Sons has now tapped the High Court through a writ petition to challenge the 1,500 crore rupees claim on GST liabilities on its payments to Docomo. As per reports, Tata had settled $1.27 billion in payments to the Japanese telecom in 2017. Tata approached the court in November under Article 226, and the hearing is scheduled on January 9th, the report added. And that was all from the corporate world this week. Over to what's happening in the startup world. RBI has asked Razorpay and cash-free payments, which hold in-principle approvals of a payment aggregator license, to stop onboarding new merchants till they get the final license. Razorpay received a letter from the central bank this week imposing the curbs on new merchant acquisition with effect from 22nd of December. The embargo will be in effect only until the companies submit an audit report to the RBI showing that they have complied with its rules and regulations for the payment aggregator and payment gateway licenses. What's to be noted is that Razorpay, Pine Labs and Stripe were among the first 3 firms to receive the RBI's in-principle nod. BigBasket has raised $200 million in new funding that has boosted the valuation of the Tata Digital-owned e-grocer to $3.2 billion. In addition to Tata Digital, which owns 64% in the Bengaluru-based company, other investors in the firm have also participated in the funding round. The company's valuation has now increased by 60% compared to its last primary cash infusion. Mirae Asset, UK's CDC, are among other investors in BigBasket parent supermarket grocery supplies. According to reports by Bloomberg, BigBasket is also expected to list its shares within 3 years after the recent fundraising. Company is likely to launch an initial public offering in the next 24 to 36 months, but was open to raising more private capital before that. According to Google's CEO Sundar Pichai, Google will now take out $300 million from the $10 billion Google for India Digitization Fund for Indian startups, a quarter of which will be earmarked for women-led startups in India. The company had launched $10 billion, which is about 75,000 crore rupees. At the end of 2020 to make access to the internet affordable. Now, as per reports, women-led startups have raised $11.34 billion between 2014 and November 2022, which is 8.37% of the total Indian startup funding. Earlier this year, Google had even announced an accelerator program for women-led startups, the Google for Startups Accelerator Women Founders. Alright, with that, it's a showdown on this week's Companynama. See you on the other side of the week with another set of corporate and startup updates. Also, if you want to know how financially stable you are and where your state stands in terms of personal finance, and to check your score on our specially designed personal finance calculator, go ahead and download the Money9 app on your Android and Apple iPhones. And yes, stay tuned to Money9.